back, everybody, to Zack the Ripper Comics. Tonight was the season premiere of SmackDown on Fox, just 1 year removed from the greatest moment in SmackDown history, the night that Kofi Kingston lost the WWE Championship to Brock Lesnar in a record time, only 7 seconds. To celebrate this momentous occasion, Yarny and I trotted out our awesome Ultimate Warrior collection that WWE has churned out over the years, and we rush out for it every time they make something available. So without further ado, let's get in to WWE SmackDown. Had high hopes for SmackDown, as over the past couple shows, it has been the much better of the Raw, NXT, and SmackDown weekly televised events, and I was absolutely blown away, not by how good this opening segment was, but by how bad it was. Authority re-emerged for the first time in a very long time, reminiscent of the horrible 25-minute plus promos that were all over Raw and SmackDown just a few years ago. Stephanie McMahon is not funny when she's with Hunter, and Hunter is absolutely not funny when he's with Stephanie. They then trotted the WWE SmackDown roster out on stage, and every time they do this, I absolutely want to hide my eyes because it just shows how incredibly thin the current day's roster is. That is until Kevin Owens walks out. Basically, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were introducing the Fox network to all of the new characters that would be presiding on their show for the next year. A brawl would ensue between the SmackDown superstars, which absolutely made no sense. Most of these guys don't have any heat with each other, save for just a few, let alone to have a brawl break out. The best part of this was the fact that as they were running down the ramp into the ring to get their fight on, the Intercontinental Championship just slid by itself right down the ramp. Fantastic stuff. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It made mention that WWE Hall of Famer Double J Jeff Jarrett was on the screen on the Thunderdome for tonight's season premiere, and you know what? I absolutely think that's the best place for him. New Day, with their send-off on SmackDown, cut a promo here thanking each other, being very emotional without the fact of actually being emotional. They acted like they were crying, but were not crying. Horrible stuff. Kofi Kingston, I don't understand, after being in WWE since 2007, how he still cannot cut a promo to save his life. I want to thank Big E for still looking like a pro wrestler, for still working out, for still wearing boots. I appreciate it. Thank you, Big E. This would immediately feed into the six-man tag team match, pitting the New Day against the team of Sheamus, Cesaro, and Shinsuke Nakamura. The Bardist Collective, maybe. Typical WWE TV match here. Everybody gets their stuff in. The end comes when Big E and Xavier Woods hit the old New Day tag team finish on Sheamus. Big E gets the pinfall victory on Sheamus. It feels like the third time in a row. I hope this program is done, but with only one more week until Hell in a Cell, I have a funny feeling they might try to get one more out of that combination. Daniel Bryan returns for the first time since WrestleMania, losing the Intercontinental Championship match to Sami Zayn, and we see that he's grown his hair back in. He did not want to cut it to begin with, and according to he and Brie Bella, it was not supposed to have been cut as short as it was. He's talking about how excited he is to be back and all of the new talent coming over from Raw that he has never had a chance to face. In comes Seth Rollins looking like an absolute twerp. Seth, of course, asks Bryan to join his crusade as the savior of SmackDown. This turns into a physical altercation as Seth attacks Bryan when Bryan refuses, says it's dumb. Bryan fights back. The Mysterios themselves, the bullies, make their way to the ring to double team Seth Rollins as Bryan hauls off in the back. Eventually, Murphy hits the ring. Looks like he's going to side with Seth Rollins. We all knew he wasn't going to because he's already turned on him. Why would he side with Seth Rollins? Murphy attacks Seth, then extends his hand to Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Dominic smugly walks off. Rey Mysterio follows suit. The Mysterios are the bad guys here. I understand that Rey lost his eye, but get over it. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match as the men who just handed their titles over to the New Day and received the SmackDown titles in return, the Street Profits, defended against Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, who lost in a championship match to the New Day this past Monday on Raw. Bobby Roode sporting white boots in this match, a throwback to the old days. I very much enjoy that. Good job, Rude. This match was good as expected, but very short, as it's obviously the first of many to come, ending in a double disqualification finish when both teams would not leave the ring, brawling back and forth with each other. It's clear that there's some big plans for these two teams on the road, and I think that that's actually a really good first feud for the Street Profits on SmackDown. I would suspect they're probably going to do a return match for the tag team titles, with most likely a title switch at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Contract signing up next for the SmackDown Women's Championship match taking place at Hell in a Cell, inside Hell in a Cell, between the champion Bayley and the challenger bobblehead herself, Sasha Banks. Bayley did not do much talking here as Sasha Banks handled it. Presiding over the two of them was Adam Pearce, WWE official, and Sasha Banks let it be known that she was congratulating Bayley on being the longest running SmackDown Women's Championship. No, I did not mess up, but Sasha did. She said that Bayley was the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Championship. So Bayley, in Sasha's eyes, is now an inanimate object with leather and gold. Sasha sucks. Bottom line. Throughout the night, we saw some celebrities and NFL analysts give their take on what they thought of the WWE's draft, specifically the new roster that SmackDown had. I liked these segments by the NFL analysts. I thought that is what SmackDown needs, especially being on Fox. Incorporate that MLB, that NBA, that NHL, and the NFL theme music into the SmackDown show each week, and I guarantee you'll up the viewership. In our main event in the evening on the premiere of SmackDown on Fox, it's the challenger Braun Strowman taking on the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman for the Universal Championship. Right out of the gate, my thought is that I don't like Roman Reigns wrestling on week-to-week television anymore. I feel like with his tenure in the business, his health history, and the fact that he's in a money spot right now, that he should be saved for pay-per-views only. Not as far as appearances. I'm all for promos and appearances backstage, in-ring, run-ins, and so forth, but not wrestling. However, this is the premiere of SmackDown on Fox, and I know that they want to do a big number, so I understand why WWE went in this direction. Braun Strowman looks like an absolute idiot. For a man that got into the best shape of his life to be covering himself with a t-shirt, looks really stupid, sounds really stupid. People used to turn their heads at Braun Strowman in the airport. Now, I turn my stomach. Physical matchup here, not the best we've seen between the two, as I honestly think Braun Strowman in a heel role, Roman Reigns in a babyface role, is better for the physical matchup between these two guys. Characteristically, Roman is off the charts in this, as he has been since his return at SummerSlam in this new persona. It showed here as he tapped out Braun Strowman. We, the viewer, didn't get to see the tap out. I honestly thought that he passed out at first. However, the announcers made it clear that Braun Strowman tapped out to Roman Reigns. For some reason, Jey Uso was conflicted with the fact that Roman Reigns was beating the crap out of Braun Strowman's back and arms with a steel chair. At this point into the feud, Jey Uso should not be concerned for anything that Roman's doing. Finally, Jey Uso gets in after Roman Reigns wears Braun Strowman's back out with some absolute chair shots. This is what I need in pro wrestling, some brutality. Jey eventually knocks Roman down and then proceeds to beat the Universal Champion with another steel chair. WWE officials separate the two. Just then, Roman hits a Superman punch on Jey Uso out of nowhere. As Jey was being held back by the WWE officials, Roman rolls out with his title and Heyman. They leave, and that's the show. Now, I know over the last 2 weeks, we've had some technical issues with the Dean himself, Dean Douglas, regarding the grading of our shows, and we're good. You promise we're good. All right. I just got informed that we are good. And ladies and gentlemen, that this time I'd like to bring on live the Dean himself, Dean Douglas. How are you? What's been going on? What'd you think of tonight's season premiere of SmackDown? I kind of like this guy, honestly. And ladies and gentlemen, real quick, we're going to take a pause to pound some Polar. That's good stuff. That's the show, folks. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. I want to thank all of my patrons on Patreon for supporting this channel and pledging to me. I very much appreciate that, as it goes a long, long way in the future of all of the content we do. Thank you for everybody liking the Facebook page, finding us on Instagram, liking this video that you're watching right now, and please, if you have not yet, subscribing to the channel, as we are on the road to 1,000. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time.